Hey, Shalom Markins, Rakam Akapash from Jimis London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem HaKodash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole for that's pushing his truth in all sincerity. Just an article I had, from earlier this month, and I had never got around to doing anything about it. This is just to be a quick one, because here in the UK you got Birmingham City here, Birmingham City Council, running out of funds, running out of money. And this will be indicative of other cities, across the country, across the world. Okay, eventually, you know, when shit starts hitting the fan, right? We know we got it's every time, right? Every time, every year it comes around about raising the debt ceiling in America because they're running out of money. They have to keep printing money, and if they don't get the increase the debt, then they're gonna have to shut down um, government facilities and all this kind of stuff, which causes great disruption, man. And it's a psychological game, because it's like they have to do it, right? So I don't understand, why they go through the same thing every damn time, refusing and longing it out, and messing with people, man. They're messing with people's lives at the end of the day, man. Especially the poor, and eventually, the whole of society is gonna collapse. Okay, all these people are gonna run out of money. All these government facilities, or the majority of them, are gonna shut down, and yeah, people are gonna start losing their minds, man. And this is all part of Esau's plan anyway. Because he wants you to lose your mind, right? Because he wants to offer you a way to as they was saying back in the pan D, to get things back to normal. All right, so when he offers people the micro CHIP and these CBDCs, and a way of you know uh you know getting things right, because that's what it enables you to do, because obviously these government facilities shut down, people ain't getting no benefits, people not getting paid no benefits, people not getting paid, people want to be out of a job, out of work, for the duration, so people are going to need to enroll on that, right? And Niso knows that because people get desperate. All right, so this is just an example of this, right? So we got Birmingham City, like I said, you got the whole fucking situation in America right now. With them, debating whether or not they're going to increase the debt ceiling into further trillions, which they can't pay because their GDP is too low. It's ridiculous, and it just shows you, man. This world is really on a decline, and the only way it carries on is being propped up by falseness, by lies and deceit. Okay, it's unsustainable. This place is unsustainable. All right. So anyway, Birmingham City Council declares itself in financial distress. So them man are calling that for help, and Birmingham's already kind of fucked up anyway, man. There's a lot of whole lawlessness going down there, lots of gang violence and all this kind of shit, right? So and it's just gonna bring people further and further into that into that world, man. You know, lawlessness. Where people become more and more desperate. Um, Says the UK's largest council, so it's the largest council, right? Issues Section 114 notice signaling it cannot balance its budgets without help. So they need to get a bailout. Okay, someone needs to print them some money. Someone needs to incur debt for them. Right? Someone needs to borrow money for them, right? Birmingham City Council, largest local authority in the country, has in effect declared itself bankrupt after issuing a Section 114 notice, signaling that it does not have the resources to balance its budget. The notice preventing all but essential spending to protect core services was issued on Tuesday, with council leaders blaming 760 billion bill for equal pay claims. Right, so they've been getting sued essentially, right? Our problems, in problems installing a new IT system, because they always need to upgrade the system, and but you saw. The thing is, man, when they get these contractors out to design them these databases and design them anything, like look at the HS2 rail here, man. Look how long that's been going on for, and look how much it's gone over budget. It's delayed and overpaid, and Esau just ripping off people out here, man. He's so ripping off people right here, right? So they get, get left with a hefty bill, right? Someone's getting rich off it, But anyway, it says problems installed a new IT system and 1 billion in government cuts over the past decade, right? Because that's what they've been doing. They've been cutting the financial power of these different cities, man. And that's why you notice that the areas around you, man, they're becoming more and more uh, um, degraded, man, because they're not being looked after. People are not cutting the grass as much. People are not collecting the rubbish as much. You know, all these services are going down because they got less and less money, man. And it just shows you, man, this kingdom is dying, man. All the evidence shows that this place is on its way out. The drug, epidemic, man. You got people strung on drugs and fucking spice and zombie fucking drugs and shit. Look at the States, America, you know what I mean? And it's going on all over the place, man. Everything is degrading. That means this place is on a decline. Okay, it's coming to its end. Right? That's what all the signs point to. Right? So the council said it does not have the resources to fund its equal pay liability and has a gap in its current budget of 87 million. In a statement, the leader and deputy leader of Labour-run council, John Cotton, and Sharon Thompson said, like local authorities across the country, it is clear that Birmingham City Council faces unprecedented financial challenges. So what they're admitting is that it's not just Birmingham. I mean, obviously, we know that. They're all facing unprecedented financial challenges. Unprecedented. That word is thrown around a lot these days. Because it's never happened before. It's the worst it's ever been. How can this be a sign of a strong nation, a strong kingdom? It's not. It can't possibly be. You know. And this is from huge increases in adult social care demand and dramatic reductions in business rates income to the impact of rampant inflation. It is clear that local government is facing a perfect storm. Another term that's thrown around a lot. Perfect storm. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going to happen all at once. That's going to bring down this kingdom, man. The perfect storm. Okay, it ain't going to be due to one thing. Mosai is omni attacking the damn thing, man, from all directions. Omnidirectional attacks. That's going to break this kingdom. All right, and we love to watch it. Okay, so it says Downing Street acknowledged that the council declaring itself to be in financial distress will be concerning for residents. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any more useful information out of this. Right, so they've funded out some money here, as it says about the government for its part has stepped in to provide support an additional 5.1 billion to councils in 2023-24, right? So that's spread across all councils, which is more than 9% increase for Birmingham City Council. It's not enough, right? He added that clearly it is for locally elected councils to manage their own budgets, right? So then they just throw the blame on everybody else, but they'll take money from the police force. They won't put people's wages up and stuff like that, and they'll just say, well, the police or whatever, they gotta manage it themselves. But you're cutting the shit out of them. Same with the public transport and shit. You know what I mean? It's just it's getting drained, right, until it can't work no more. And that's the idea. Until it doesn't work anymore. Until this place collapses, and they have to bring in the new thing, the new world, right? Agenda, the new world order, right? New governance, right? So that the government had expressed concern about the governance arrangements and has requested assurances from the leader of the council about the best use of taxpayers' money. Again, taxpayers' money. So that the more money that they lend out and print and whatever, man, it's all going to come. It all ends up coming back on the people. And then they're going to complain about inflation again because having to spend more money, and it's apparently everybody else's fault but theirs. you know, it's just a vicious circle, man, and they know, and eventually he's going to break everything. Um, And they still sell this fucking hopium, man. It's like here it says the council last year published a financial plan described as a bold budget, designed to maximize the potential of a golden decade for this. A golden decade for this. This don't sound like no golden decade, and you ain't ever gonna have a golden decade. It ain't happening. All right. Or they're trying to sell opium, man. Right? It said head of the rifle, the Commonwealth Games, yeah, because that's gonna change everything, right? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Oh, that took place in Birmingham last. So it's a golden decade just because you held the fucking Commonwealth Games, man. In a council meeting on Tuesday morning, Robert Alden, the leader of Conservative opposition, accused the council of lying to the people of Birmingham. They're fucking, yeah, of course. So this administration claimed that under Labour, Birmingham was facing a golden decade. This was fool's gold. Yeah, they've been sold hopium, man. You know, this was fool's gold. Okay, and this is me. Your image is tarnished, is cankered, man. Okay, this kingdom has lost its luster. It's not real. It's been debased. Okay, just like the same thing with the money, right? They were debasing, back in Rome, they're debasing the currency by mixing it in with other metals. It wasn't silver no more. It wasn't all silver no more. It wasn't worth as much. It's the same as this place. This whole place is being debased. Remember, the Lord's debasing it. It says it's cloud cuckoo land. It is cloud cuckoo land. I haven't heard that expression before. It is cloud cuckoo land to claim the problems in Birmingham are being replicated across the country. He said, of course it is though. Section 114 notice issued in the past by cash-strapped councils including Croydon and Thurrock means no new expenditure is permitted, with the exception of protecting vulnerable people and maintaining statutory services. The council also criticised the fact that it had $1 billion of funding taken away by successive Conservative governments. Yeah, these Conservatives are fucking up everything, man. So last week it was revealed that at least 26 councils in some of Britain's most deprived areas were at risk of effective bankruptcy. And as I'm saying, it's just bad signs, man. Come on, man. Come on, we know what's about to happen, man. You know what this all leads to. Okay, but people are in denial. This place ain't collapsing. Hackney Council, Nottinghamshire Council. Says sources in the council said that the financial crisis was a ticking time bomb that was waiting to go off, and expressed fears that some of the poorest people in our country would suffer. Isn't that what Biden was saying just the other day? About these lockdowns. About the government shutdowns. That the poorest, you so-called black people, are going to be worse affected. Yeah, it's lucky. As I was saying before, man. POTUS Joe Biden was talking about. You so-called black people. You're gonna be suffering the worst. Because you're the poorest, right? And you can throw the Hispanics and natives and all that in there, man, because you're all at the bottom strata of society. And again, he's talking about he was talking about before about the dark winter. Now, whether that turns out to be this winter or next winter, at some point, shit's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a dark winter. It's gonna be a dark time period. But obviously, winter time's a terrible time for shit to go down, man, because shit be cold, man. If you're struggling to get food and resources or whatever during that time, man, it's gonna be very, very uncomfortable, man. Very uncomfortable. Before the shit shuts down. All right, so I don't know what else is here now. All right, that's pretty much it, man. So let's just grab some scriptures. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. It says, quickly have a look. Yeah, let's grab the point here. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to err in every work, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Ain't nothing working right, man. It's all collapsing. And like I said, these are all signs of a dying kingdom, man. Okay, this isn't the sign of competency. This isn't the sign of strength. You know, these are the signs of a dying kingdom, man. This is all signs that prophecy is taking place. That prophecy is working out here. You know, for the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, this place is being brought down to its knees. All right. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right, like I said, a lot of these places are going to shut down. You know, the storehouses, the shops. You know, your jobs, you're going to lose your jobs. You know, and you're going to get those that, you know, lose their jobs, which is going to be the majority of people. Okay, they're going to throw you on that universal basic income, man. Okay, that they've been piloting and testing out and, you know, looking to put in place. You know, and you're going to be getting that for a while, most likely. And then, you know, shit gonna really happen. And then they're going to bring out the MOTB, and you're going to have to get your universal basic income via the CHIP, the MOTB. You know, and what are you people going to do when your only form of income is, you know, government, you know, grants, or, you know, for lack of a better word, you know, being subsidized by the government. Okay, what are you people going to do when it gets taken away, and the only way you can access it is through, you know, these digital platforms, through the CHIP. Yeah, a lot of you are just going to jump on, man, because you know, you got limited options, you know. So it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Right, it's the Most High shaking shit up, man, bringing this place down. All right, it's all prophecy, man. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right? These people take shit for granted, man, because, you know, the Lord have been having them live a certain way. You know, they've given no care to, you know, the will of the Heavenly Father, man. Right, they're out here, you know, living up their lives, living, you know, the vida loca, you know. You know, living that YOLO spirit. Okay, going after their own lusts, doing as thou wilt. That's what they've been living like, man. Right, not knowing that evil is coming, man. And if you want to avoid that evil, man, you need to turn to the Lord and repent before the evil comes and overtakes you, man, and destroys you. All right. This is verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Right? No workers, man. Right? Well, this whole shit's gonna shut down, and you know, people are gonna lose their jobs, man. Like I mentioned, the grinders are gonna cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And the doors be shut and the doors shall be shut in the streets. All right, you know, and this is what we're seeing more and more. We're seeing more and more places closed down, boarded up. You know, broken windows, shutters down. You know, empty buildings. Okay, we're seeing more and more of it. Again, these are not signs of a thriving kingdom. Okay, this kingdom's on decline. Okay. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, and that's another thing with the whole music scene, man. You know, if you can even really call it music anymore, you know, it's just detestable, man. You know, you got some, you know, some decent, you know, beats and stuff like that, but the lyrics are trash, and the music videos are satanic. You know, and the lyrics are satanic. You know. This is a very morally low society. Alright, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Like I mentioned, you know, all these you know, these governments and these councils, man, they're all full of debt. Okay, they're overburdened, man. You know, they can't sustain, you know, what it is that they're doing, man. You know, and that's why they need to borrow more money, print more money, and that's just increasing the debt more and more, and to a point where it can't actually be paid off. You know, and that's why they're just gonna reset everything, man. Have this all, you know, come crashing down. Okay, and implement a new system, because it's like I said, it's unsustainable. This place is done. Okay, but people think that this place can continue how it is forever and ever, man. It's impossible. You know. I'm going to close out with this, 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 18. I'm just going to start from 14, right? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right? This kingdom has a number of, you know, days left, man. You know, days, months, years, whatever. It's got a certain amount of time left. Right? So it draweth nigh. You're running out of time. Right? So the one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another they shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, this is where it all leads, man. You know, the collapse of society. Okay, complete chaos. Right? So the man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled. These cities, okay, they already started being troubled. Okay, but like we keep saying, man, things are going to get a lot worse. A lot worse than this. You know? We still haven't reached that, you know, the fulfillment of Daniel 12:1. Okay, a trouble such as never been on the earth before. You know? It's going to come point to, you know, point in time where people can't live regular lives. Nobody. Things are going to get turned upside down, man. Right? So because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Great tribulation is on the way. And like I said, all these are just signs. You know, signs that we pay, you know, close attention to. Right? As we await the coming of our Lord. And like I said, Birmingham City Council ain't the only council, ain't the only district, ain't the only city, ain't the only country in the world that's suffering from these things. Right? And more of them are going to suffer these things. Okay, until they're all broken. Alright? So, you know, I'm going to end it there. Lord, this has been edifying. I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So until next time, I say Shalom.